some of the active learning strategies, learning by doing, as mentioned in the learning pyramid. When we say learning by doing anything, problem solving, doing an experiment, right? Answering a quiz, analyzing a case study. Today, in many courses, there is use of free and open source softwares. The students can learn by using those free and open softwares very thoroughly, many courses. All that comes under learning by doing. Learning through discussion among the peer group. This is peer learning, peer instruction and peer learning. It's a wonderful strategy. Learning through analyzing case studies. So it promotes deep learning. Group projects. When we say group projects, it is not that one student in a group of three, better always not to put more than three in a group. Three is the best. Okay? Right? So it is necessary that each person is given a task chooses a task in the project. It's not that one person does and the other two are passive participants in the group. No, not at all. Every person does a part of the project, and then at the end they integrate all the three together. They integrate, and then each of one of them explains his contribution in the project at the end during evaluation. Through field studies, experiential learning is or it may not be possible for all theory courses, but wherever possible, experiential learning where the student experiences starting, we have implemented in our PG course, though it is not mandatory as per the syllabus, we ourselves have implemented in a MSc course which we call a project experiment. The student himself, whatever he or she wants to do, plans, executes, everything. So total experience, different observations. We are not bothered about the results. The process, the learning process is important. And 1 minute paper during the classroom interaction. What is this? This is known in the literature as 1 minute paper, but it is not necessary that it should be 1 minute. It may be 2 minutes or it may be 3 minutes. What it means is, the interaction goes on in the classroom, either lecturing or discussion or problem solving, whatever. The students, if they have any reflections, as I am asking you reflections, orally you are telling, they will be asked to put on a paper their reflections. Sir, you have given this example. You see, this example is appears to be much better than the example which I have given. He puts on a paper. He has some questions. Sir, I see some fallacy in that particular problem solving, approach to problem solving. So put it on paper. He has some doubts, some clarifications, puts on a paper. All those, the students' reflections, students' comments, students' queries, students' doubts. So during the class of 60 minutes, maybe after 20 minutes or so, the class representative will go through and collect all the reflections. And valued reflections will be discussed then and there by the teacher. Valued reflection. That is what is called. So, in 1 minute paper, during the classroom interaction, right? So, what is the purpose? What is the purpose of this? The purpose of this is the students are totally attentive. The students are in this beautiful world of learning. The students, otherwise they go back. They are never here. They go back. Sometimes, occasionally they are here in the classroom. Very often they are elsewhere. So to make them actively present in the class, this 1 minute paper encourages. You put all your reflections, beautiful examples. So if the student thinks the example which I have given will be read in the classroom in front of all the students, so his self-efficacy increases. So he enjoys it. Even for that purpose, the students, and you see for one slide how many reflections, beautiful reflections we have, so much learning experience we have, so much depth of discussion we had. So that kind of things, the students' involvement will be enormous if we encourage this 1 minute paper in the classroom. Open-ended questions by the teacher, open-ended questions from the students. So this is very, very important. Then question board taken around the class by the teacher or one of the students. So a small basket, questions please, or your reflections please, like that, collect, and then without any repetition, some of them may be discussed in the class. The greatest tragedy is, which I have been following all along, whenever there are questions, I never answer in the class. I always put it, yes, it is open for the class. Many questions will be answered by the students themselves. And it promotes deeper discussion. And when the students know this style of this teacher's teaching is he does not answer the questions, then the challenge is on them. The task is on them to think over and then discuss and then get ready with the solutions. I always say your contribution may not be giving total solution, but your contribution may lead to a solution, may lead to the exact answer. So discussion will give a large scope. Sometimes what happens, there will be very challenging questions which you will not be able to answer in the class by anybody. As a teacher, I will also not be able to answer. So instead of bluffing, the best thing is we appreciate the greatest student for the most challenging question, which none of us is able to answer. So let us think over, and then the first thing in the next class is to discuss that question. Okay. So perhaps by students at various concrete levels, this is a wonderful strategy. So today, then learning by doing, integrate theory and lab courses wherever possible. Wherever possible. Curriculum design is the most important for all these things. Right? So it's not that theory course separately and the lab course separately. That is wrong strategy. Wherever possible. Why? Some students, by performing the laboratory activities, they will understand the theoretical concepts better. Some students, even abstract things, they understand in the theory, and then it gets reinforced when they do the experiments. So you integrate both, and then there is a large scope in the laboratory classes to have one-to-one interaction. There is a large scope in the laboratory classes to know the deficiency of the student, so that you can understand him better and all that. Some students learn concepts effectively while performing the experiments. Learning by doing, use of free and open source softwares wherever possible for engineering, science, management, commerce courses also, for e-commerce, for example, to teach e-commerce, there may be, and IIT Bombay suits the requirement for science students and engineering students. I am not sure whether they have courses for commerce and management, but this is one example. So, use of free and open source softwares augments learning, promotes deeper learning. Why? Because that is one-to-one. One-to-one learning is the best strategy. So, as he uses the software, simultaneously he is learning the concepts. So in the classroom it is 1:60. But at home they will be asked to practice by using the softwares to learn the theoretical concepts. In most of the subjects they are available for teaching and learning, not for research purpose. Then these are all some of the examples I have given. Even for private institutions today, as far as teaching and learning is concerned, you have wealth of open educational resources, OERs, right? So thanks to OER revolution, or everything you tell, MATLAB, people say it costs something like 25 lakhs or so. But Octave is a solution for that. Scilab is a solution for that. Remat is a solution for MATLAB, like for data processing and all. Today, hundreds and thousands of free and open educational resources are available. You go to the internet related to your subject, definitely you will be able to get that. General, one of the best websites which I have been using since long, Abhishek, and that is MIT Open Courseware. Please note down that website name, MIT Open Courseware, mitocw.org. For every course, including commerce and management also, it is free and open. You go through the assignments, how they have given. You go through the case studies for a given particular course, what case studies they have, everything will be there. Please go through this quote. You see, whenever I say that you go on giving case studies, giving problems, application problems, let them struggle to solve. I have been telling all along that the struggle is important for learning. So, initially when they struggle, generally the tendency for parents and teachers also, the tendency is to quickly give the solutions. As parents also, we don't like our children to struggle. We are doing injustice to the children. Only when we give them opportunities to struggle, learn, come out independently by themselves, they are building their life by themselves. We are helping them. We are doing justice as parents. As long as we see that our children are in comfort zones, they will never come out of the comfort zones. We are smiling. They have to struggle because the societies are not easy places to live in. One has to struggle to live peacefully. So, as teachers also, always give them challenging things. You may experience, but after solving the problem, at the end of the struggle, there is a great success, there is a great triumph for the student. So that student should taste that mentally, he or she should taste that. Once she tastes that, she starts proceeding towards a deep learning. Only when she or he proceeds to deep learning, he acquires employable skills and knowledge at higher cognitive levels. So, I always say that it should start at school for learning at higher cognitive level. Unknown case study. For example, I teach a course on corrosion science for fourth year engineering. As an open lecture, all the students, any student can choose. Incidentally, all the students, even from computer science, electronics, from all branches, students choose this. These are all real case studies. How a simple problem of corrosion in Bhopal case study led to what is called killing of lakhs of people, and many more lakhs have become victims of one problem or the other. Right? So many causes are still to be known. So all these examples in bridges, ships, building structures in the form of real-time photographs. Then you analyze and then come out with your analysis, total analysis, why it has occurred, what is the solution you suggest, all that. So, case studies I use. And jigsaw group project is another technique which I have come across in a journal recently for e-commerce teaching environment. So there will be, suppose each member is given one task in the project, and at the end they have to submit the finished project. They will, all the three are together. Then see, so smart board, interactive whiteboard is the most important tool for active learning. Most important. It is discussion, interaction, everything can be integrated beautifully in the smart board. So the greatest tool for active learning, implementation of active learning in classrooms. Smart board and Wi-Fi connectivity together make a complete digital classroom which facilitates active learning. Smart board consists of touch-sensitive whiteboard, a computer, software, and LCD projector. Ultimately, this is important. To conclude, who facilitates active learning among students becomes an active learner in herself. She experiences grades of discoveries in many projects. She mentors generations of students who can become innovators, entrepreneurs, leaders, administrators, and teachers. My tributes are to such great teachers, and many of you become